Not just any balloons, water balloons. Oh, look at these bad boys. They're a little bit stuck to each other at the moment and a little bit wet. So we definitely need to dry them out before we stick resin all over them. But look at this, folks. This is gonna be a cool funkadelic project. So it's been so hot here over the last few days. The kids have been chucking these around, splashing them all over the place. And at the end of the weekend, I was looking around the garden at all the mess. Yeah, balloons all over the place. So today, we're gonna be seeing how balloons react in resin and see what we can make with them. Now, like I said, what we need to do is they're still a bit wet from all the water that was in them. I did put them in this pot. Hopefully they were going to dry out, but they haven't done. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a dry down, and then we'll add some epoxy.
The suspense is terrible.
Smells a bit like rubber balloons. Right, so these balloons are pretty dry now. They look absolutely amazing, don't they? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put these into a bowl, mix it up with some resin. Now, before we get right stuck in, I just want to say a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Have you taken down the Demon Lord yet? Crushed the Ice Golem? Ascended the Doom Tower? What about fighting against millions of real players? You can explore millions of campaign combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. With hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 500 champions, you can build your own team, develop your champions, and raid your way. Now, did you know people have played Raid for over 12.5 billion hours in total? That's almost 1.5 million years, which is enough time to travel to Mars and back over 1 million times. Now, what I love about Raid is that you get everyone involved and it's a massive community. It's such good fun. The graphics are amazing, and when you get into it, you really get stuck in. I mean, it's intense at times. If you want the best weekly rewards, you've got to join a clan and fight a clan boss. And also, the fastest way to level up your champions is through farming the champion. This month, Raid's got a jam-packed schedule of events. And as always, they've got a bunch of brand new champions coming out. I mean, just look at these guys. There's also a new rotation of the Doom Tower. Raid's always got loads going on, folks. And this month's no different. So don't wait around and don't miss out. So if you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you got to do is hit the links in the description, or you can just scan my QR code and you'll get an epic hero Chinura, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard. So you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in the game. Now all this treasure will be waiting for you here. Now these rewards will only be available for the next 30 days and they're only for new players. So it's that easy, folks. Just click on the link in the description and I'll see you in there. Okay folks, check this out. So you see what I've done here? You see what I've done? Know what I'm saying? So, this is what we've got. I've stacked the balloons in between 2 bowls. So that's going to save us on some resin and save us a lot of work as well. So I do need to put something in here, like a bit of wood or something like that I can just find, a bit of scrap bit of wood, that's fine, I can do that. But we're going to pour in the resin in the gaps, and that pretty much is going to form us a really funky looking bowl. But I reckon this is going to come out pretty cool. I have no idea how this is going to turn, or not really, if it's going to work, but right. I guess we're going to find out. Let's smash some resin in this and see what happens. Hey.
In she goes.
I reckon we might have to swish these about a bit just to get them to sit where we want.
Maybe we need some more balloons. Hey. Let's get some more resin in here.
Oh, they're all trying to float to the bottom. We need to stop that. Well, all we need to do is need to put this piece of wood on here now before this goes crazy. Right, the resin is in there, the balloons are popping out all over the place. I reckon this is going to look so funkadelic. Right, let's get this in the pressure pot. Know what I'm saying? Oh, is it going to fit in there? Oh man, that is tight. Oh my god. That was a squeeze. We may have to put a bit more resin in there, I don't know. But that is all we can do for now, folks.
Let's get the lid on.
Well, we'll leave that in there overnight and hope that they don't all float to the bottom.
I like it a lot.
Right, are we ready, folks, to see what is in this pressure pot? Whether or not these balloons have come out any good or not. Let the remaining air out. Right, are you ready? I'm not ready. Okay. Well, it looks the same as it did when we went in there, but obviously it would do. Let's get this out. I reckon this is going to look pretty cool, folks. Look at this. Right, let's get demolding.
Oh, she popped! Oh, yes!
Wow, that is cool. Look, there's a balloon popping out. It's air in it. Let's just squeeze it out the side. Oh, I popped it. That is pretty wicked. Now we've got to try and get this bit out, if we can. We might not even need to turn this. We might not. I think I got it. I think I popped it. Yes! Woo! A bit of damage, a little bit of damage, but nothing that we can't sort out. Let's try and get this cleaned up. Yeah, I think the outside's all right, isn't it, really? We just need to clean it up a bit. So folks, coming to the conclusion that putting balloons in resin isn't the best option. I'm sanding this back, and it's okay when you don't get any sort of the balloons popping through. As you can see, that's kind of okay there, and I reckon this will finish up quite nice. But there's a lot of areas where balloons are squeezing their way through. Like this, and like, so just the balloons obviously are just not great, and I'm never gonna get a good finish on this bowl, even if I could get it on the lathe, which I can't really get it on the lathe. It's a bit wibbly, a bit wonkily. And as you know, we didn't fill up the whole bowl with resin, so that obviously saved us a load of resin, which is perfect. But obviously it does kind of like hinder you a little bit from putting it on the lathe. You know, trying to get this smoothed off and trying to get that attached to the lathe without wobbling around all over the place. It's just not ideal. So I'm going to try and finish it to the best I can. But I don't think it's going to be brilliant, if I'm honest. But I'll do the best I can to make these balloons pop. I think the moral of the story here is, don't put balloons in epoxy resin. Although they don't actually look too bad, but I couldn't get a really good finish on this, but it actually does look quite cool. But I mean the sanding aspect of it, because I couldn't really put it on the lathe, so it kind of became a project that I was going to finish without using the lathe and just sanding it. And the thing is, these balloons were just popping out kind of everywhere. I mean, look at this. so you know, and every time you hit that with the sandpaper, it just wasn't happening really. So for all intents and purposes, it was a cool experiment, and I hope you learn a lot today. So I just want to say thanks for joining me on this channel. Please stick around. We do some weird kind of experimental things like that. Know what I'm saying? This was probably the quickest video you have ever seen. So thanks for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please share this video, this experimental video, with your friends and family. That really does help me in the channel. If you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, please head on over there to follow me. I'm still trying to get to 50,000 followers on Instagram. I'm finding it a little bit tricky. So if you wouldn't mind heading over to give me a bit of support, I am going to do a little giveaway at 50,000 subscribers on Instagram when I get there. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. Oh, that reminds me. I had a care package in from Charles and Nancy Demolding. Demolding. Thanks guys for this care package. Look at this. This is pretty cool. Nick Zammeti, alias Mr. Z. That is pretty neat. So that is going to be taking pride of place on the back of my worktop somewhere. Not there, it's going to fall like that did. We'll find a space for it later on. And all these little goodies in here, thank you so much for sending these down. I will definitely be using these in one of my projects soon. So thank you, Charles and Nancy, for sending this down. Sorry I haven't mentioned it just yet. I've been away for the weekend for my birthday. I went to Edinburgh, if anyone's been there before. It's pretty cool, in Scotland, where I spent the weekend up there in Edinburgh. It was a really cool weekend, birthday weekend for me. It was my birthday Saturday. Saturday? Yeah. No, Sunday, which was also Father's Day. So anyway, I will stop waffling. Thanks for watching this video. Take care, and I'll see you again soon for another weird, strange video.